Now, if you want to crown them, then crown their but they are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook.
Welcome back to your Valley Sports Plug Live. It is Tuesday, February 17th, 2026. I'm your host, Chris Patrick, and tonight, Devin Booker represents at the 2026 NBA All-Star Weekend. Zach Gallen returns to the Arizona Diamondbacks on a one-year deal, similar to the qualifying offer he received. Arizona Cardinals keep defensive coordinator Nick Rallis, and Kyler Murray trade rumors swirl. There is so much to get into and so little time. First, joining me tonight to break it all down, my co-host Michael Benjamin and Neeks. What's going on, fellas?
Gentlemen, I have to start off by saying happy 63rd birthday to the true GOAT and the man who has contributed to my addiction. You can see behind here, Michael Jordan. Shout out to the GOAT, man. But hey, dude, it's Newsmakers Week for Arizona Sports Radio, and it's a perfect time because there is a hell of a lot of stuff to get into, and I'm excited to do it tonight. Neeks, how you doing, man? Good to see you, brother.
Good to see you guys. I'm doing great, man. You know, it's like murky waters as a Valley sports fan right now. It's a very interesting time. You know, you like turn around and 1 second it's clear, and then you swim the other way and it's dark and murky and you're not sure. And yeah, man, it's gonna be a fun little run we're gonna go on here with the Suns finishing out the season, the Diamondbacks starting, the truly god horrific dumpster fire fucking piss can that is the Arizona Cardinals. Yeah, man, we're in for a ride, boys. We're in for a ride.
Yeah, Neeks, that's a good way to put it, man. The waters are certainly not very clear at this time. And if someone out there could please like aggregate all the injuries the Valley sports athletes have had over the last year, it would be an extensive list. I mean, we just got off the heels of dealing it with the Suns. It seems like we're pretty close to full strength. But now, of course, when we return to action Thursday, Dylan Brooks will be out with that suspension, the one-game suspension for all his technicals. And I'm starting to get excited for the Dbacks. Spring training's right around the corner. But then you consider all the Tommy Johns from last year that are going to carry over into this year. And we're still not going to be full strength until like the middle of summer when it's 115 and we're all sweating our balls off. But guys, yeah, plenty to get into. Before we dive into all that and so much more, I want to thank everyone who is here watching with us live or catching us back on the replay. We appreciate you so much. Make sure you share this video or stream with all of your friends out there. We go live right here on our YouTube channel every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Arizona time, or just abouts. Each stream is available for immediate playback right here on our YouTube channel and audio only next day on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and just about everywhere you can listen to podcasts. So please, while you're here, like and subscribe right on this video, hit that notification bell. And now let's go ahead and dive right into it. Gentlemen, we're going to start out with Devin Booker at the 2026 NBA All-Star Weekend. And man, did this man have his fingerprints everywhere. From getting second place, runner-up only to Dame Lillard in the three-point shootout. A competition Mike and I talked about on Pass the Outlet that some feel he might not have had any business taking part in, but he has won it before, and he showed why. Showed out, was 2 scores shy of tying Dame, I believe. Missed his last 3 shots in the last round, which you hate to see him go out like that, but did have a really strong first round, I believe, scoring 30 or 31, which was pretty close to the record. And then, of course, he was on the All-Star Championship winning team in a year where the game was a little bit more competitive than we've seen in the past. There's some other little bit of action sprinkled in there that we might get to. But, Mike, what did you think of Devin Booker showing out at the All-Star game this year?
I mean, I always love when a Phoenix Sun is representing for the Valley. And of course, we already know Devin Booker is on that Mount Rushmore already within his short career, even though it has been 11 seasons, guys. It's crazy to think. But What an absolute showing in this 3-point contest. You can see it right here. Chris, you were correct. It was 30. You have to think back to 2018, where he set the then record for the most points in a round, which I think was 28. The last time, I think at Staples Center in Los Angeles still. But Dame Lillard, man, you know, that's Niko's guy too. He spent plenty of years in Portland rooting for him. I think that was super cool to see him come back. We know that he hasn't played and will not play this year with his Achilles injury, but it does kind of suck that Book had a chance there, right? He basically was going to go for the win until he missed 2 big shots in that final rack. But yeah, you still got to give credit to Dame, man. You know, 3rd title, he's going for a 4th. We're going to get into what's going to happen next year as well. But overall, I want to know, Niko, how did you feel about All-Star Weekend, man? Because we know the metrics are up, and this was the most watched All-Star game in 15 years. So I think the product is finally going in the right direction.
Yeah, so the weekend itself, guys, I mean, the elephant in the room is always going to be the dunk contest. Unfortunately, it's not going to be what it was when we were kids. You're not going to get Steve Nash passing the ball with his head to Amari. You're not going to, you know, when I see Jackson Hayes basically throw down a regular fast break, like one-handed dunk in the contest, yeah, we got to go back to the drawing board with that. The 3-point contest, though, guys, fucking electric. It has totally taken place the spot that the slam dunk contest has. And yes, Dame time is never wrong, gentlemen. Even when that Achilles is broken, that time is never wrong. So, look, I get it. I also sent a text to my brother who was in Portland when I saw the participants announced, and I said, weird that you can get a 3-point contest nod without touching the floor and without touching the floor for the rest of the year, too. Don't get me wrong. You guys aren't the only ones in that boat. However, very cool to see him injured, win a 3-point contest, and then essentially homer back into the bushes. That Blazers team is going to be a problem to deal with if him and Danny can continue to play at the level that Danny's been playing at. That team's going to be tough. I know everybody's smiling and smirking because the Blazers are dog shit, dog water trash right now, but they're putting the building blocks in place. Now, the actual game itself, this is the most, I think, entertained I've been by an All-Star games, if you want to put it that way. I think that's my only hang up here. And maybe I'm old man shouting at the clouds, but this is an all-star game. We are not the NHL. We don't need a fucking circus of look at what we can do. Look at what we can do. You know what we really should have done is we should have picked the fucking 12 best American players and the 12 best European players or world players, and we should have had them go at it. If that's what you want to do, let's do that. But watering the field down with multiple teams and having a stars team and a stripes team, and for me, I thought the product was cool and it was watchable. I just personally, old man yelling at the moon, I need one fucking game. For my ADD, I need one game.
Yeah, heavy agree. And we had talked about that too. Like, how cool was it growing up when the one team would wear the away jerseys and the other team would wear their home jerseys, their actual team jerseys, and it worked. And it was East versus West. And I guess like over the years, like the competitive nature of those games did start to wane. And I don't know, Adam Silver just always tries to reinvent the wheel every single year. And I bet he was real excited through those first 2 games that were really close, and was sitting at the bar, and some random guy was pointing that out. He's like, I bet he was feeling really good about it up until this game, which was an absolute blowout, 47-21. I also think it's weird. They were just 10-minute games, right? So it was like 3 or 4 10-minute games. It's like, I don't know, guys. Like, we could do like one game, 2 20-minute halves or something, like the college rules or whatever. I mean, if you want to really do something different, throw the 4-point line in there like they did with the celebrity game. I do want to nod and acknowledge the celebrity game that had Matt Ishbia rocking the book 2s, the all black. Mike, what are those called again? They're coming out soon, right?
The fragments. Oh, they already came out, Chris. They were limited
fragments,
to 500 pairs. So you didn't get them now. Good luck paying resale. But yeah, Matt Ishbia going high over Taco Fall, dude. That was one of the best moments from the Celebrity All-Star game. So it's always awesome to have our guy in that too, you know?
Oh yeah, 100%. And I know he looks kind of goofy, but like Matt Ishbia played college basketball. I mean, granted, not like a starter or anything, but he played college basketball. So there's
He played at
something
Michigan State too. I mean, that's not a slouch school, bro. Like that's a basketball school.
Yeah,
I mean, he was on their national championship team. So, you know, he was going up against Mateen Cleaves, who was one of the best point guards in NCAA basketball back then. So, yeah, Ishbia knows ball, Booker knows ball. Man, it was just, this is a win for the Phoenix Suns organization, man. After so many unknowns going into this coming year, the way that they performed to start. And then the biggest thing was Book being healthy enough to play in this game, because I think after he was named and he hurt his ankle pretty severely, we were kind of on the fence if he was really going to be able to get out there and make it. So I think he not only himself knew how important it was for him to continue to build his brand with the book 2 just coming out, first couple of releases, and now more heading onto the shelves and whatnot, but him representing for the Valley after, you know, the past, I mean, since the Suns made the NBA finals, there's been good teams, but falling short of those expectations consistently and then having pretty bad 2 seasons, you can say so, based off of those expectations. It was awesome what he did out there, and his team got the dub, man. So even if it's 4 12-minute quarter games, our boy got the win, and we'll take it, man. And the NBA loves exactly what's happening for that. For the first 3 games of those were super competitive. Then you had the old men getting tired. I think that's really kind of what happened in the 4th game. KD, LeBron, no Steph, but Kawhi, you know, those guys are up there. They're not going to be able to compete with the Cade Cunninghams and the Anthony Edwards of the world, who are trying to show out and set their names higher than they already are right now, too. And the NBA loves themselves some Ant, and he won MVP. So I don't know. Do you guys, would you be surprised if they ran back this kind of organization for the game next year when it's in Phoenix?
I would not be surprised, but like I said, Adam Silver wants to reinvent the wheel every single year and try and push the envelope. And how can I do just something a little bit different? So I expect there to be a tweak, but Mike, to answer your question, I wouldn't be surprised. What about you, Neeks?
Would I be surprised? No, but like Chris said, it is Adam Silver we're talking about. I just, you know, it's yeah, I mean, they found that it was technically successful compared to the past 15 years. So if you're a businessman, you go, well, if it's not broke, don't fix it. But I also don't think it's completely fixed either. So I don't know. Maybe we see a couple of tweaks, but I would not be surprised to see it run back. Maybe it's not USA versus the world. Maybe it's East versus West. I don't fucking know. I don't know. I just want them to wear their old jerseys. Everybody wear their original jerseys.
Let's do everybody 6'3" and under versus 6'11" and above. How about that?
Ooh, that could be a good one. Or like everybody 30 and up and everyone 30 and under, or 29 and under. I don't know. I think there's angles we can take here. But Mike, there is one massive highlight of Devin Booker's that you failed to mention, and that was him saving Barack and Michelle Obama from a flying attack by Nikola Jokic. Could have been called in by some foreign intelligence agency, but Devin Booker thwarted the attack, saved Obama. They dapped him up, and it was all good. And I think that's just like another added layer to the national story and the national attention that the Suns and Devin Booker got, which, I mean, next year it's perfect setup. 2027, the All-Star game. Here it is. Yep. Booker gives him a nice little shove out of the way. Obama appreciates it. You can tell.
So I'm not sharing the audio, but my favorite thing about this video right here, this video clip, is that they're playing Young Jeezy. Niko, do you know what the song is? My president is black. My Lambo is blue.
Oh, my Lambo is blue. Yeah, bro. Really great song.
Oh, yeah. And I think Book came out with a post on socials either yesterday or today. And he said, did you say that? The Secret Service thing? What a great moment,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, it was so perfect.
What a great moment. But Niko, I mean, we got to touch on it. Nick, Chris kind of brought it up. 2027 All-Star game is coming to the Valley, man. What are you expecting out of the big game coming to Phoenix, man? I cannot wait. It's been almost 20 years, man.
I am so excited. Last time it was here, dude, I wasn't old enough or working enough to be going to any of the festivities. You know, like now, man, I don't have mom and dad to tell me I can't go. Now I can just go ahead and buy myself a little ticky poo, and you can find me up at the nosebleeds screaming during the slam dunk contest. I'm fucking excited, man. The Valley knows how to throw a party. If there's anything that we like to do, we host really well. It's a thing that the state is just, we're fucking good at it. To have the vibe of the All-Star game in downtown Phoenix, it's gonna be so much fun. The game might be shit. The dunk contest might be shit, but it being in the Valley and everything that it brings with it, I don't know what it was called, but they have that little it's like an NBA era where you go in, you shoot 3-pointers, and you meet players and you get autographs, and it's basically like the Super Bowl thing that we did when we were kids, Mike. But like I'm here for that, dude. I'm here to turn into that 16-year-old that wasn't able to go last time. I'm here to be that now in my 30s. So I am beyond excited. As a matter of fact, when I saw the post on Instagram, I went, "Oh fuck, that's right. We have the All-Star game." And then I went, "Oh, thank God the dunk contest sucked. Maybe the tickets will be a little bit cheaper because nobody will want to see the fucking dunk contest." And then I found out it was $200 to sit in the nosebleeds at this year's All-Star Saturday. And I was like, well, maybe we're just going to have to do a small loan. But all things considered, gentlemen, I am vibing on the All-Star game. I can't tell you how excited I am. Last time we had any kind of All-Star thing, I believe it was Chase Field with the MLB All-Star game. And I even showing up to a celebrity softball game, that was exciting. So like, man, can't wait for the weekend. I know I kind of stood on a soapbox, but the fact that it's here and it's in Arizona and I'm not in Portland and I'm not in fucking Chicago, I'm very excited for it.
How could you not be excited? I mean, it's crazy because like I was telling my mom over the weekend, I was like, yeah, like the All-Star weekend is coming back to Phoenix. And she's like, wasn't it like just here? And I was like, Mom, that was 2009. That was 18 years ago. Like that's absolutely, well, I guess 17 years ago. Next year it'll be 18 years, but it's crazy because it does kind of feel like it was just yesterday, but time flies when you're having fun. I definitely know that the VSP boys will be down enjoying all the festivities. I'd probably try and get in the game. As soon as I found out, I went to look and there's like a wait list. You can't even they're not even like giving you much information about it yet. But about this text from Dame here, the DM to Steph, Mike, I got to ask you here. Is there some shade thrown about 4 more real shooters?
You got to look into it a little bit, but we will give Dame the benefit of the doubt here. A lot of those guys, there's some younger guys too. Con Knipple ends up in the last round. He's a rookie. He has to build his notoriety. But then, Donovan Mitchell didn't really show up. My dark horse pick, Tyrese Maxey, was horrible. And then, you're not going to see the 6'10" Bobby Portis next year. So it's funny that, Niko, you said, well, even though the dunk contest was bad, as soon as this DM went out, those prices are skyrocketing because it's for All-Star Saturday as a whole that you have to buy the ticket for. So you're probably not looking at anything less than $500 to get into the door next year. But this is what the NBA needs for these All-Star weekend festivities, man. You need the buy-in from the best of the best. And it's awesome to see that start 12 months beforehand, right? So I just am so ecstatic. I'm so excited. Niko, I kind of had to reminisce on where I was the last time the All-Star game was here in 2009 for the NBA, and I was in Tucson. So I didn't even have the ability to go at that point. So we'll be going out to, the NBA experiences, and I have a feeling I'll be able to get in for something with my season tickets. We'll just have to find out and probably get something for every day. So then one of you guys can go to something. and you can just Rochambeau for what you want to do. Or you can, slide some money under the table and I just won't tell the other guy. And that's how you get the ticket, But 2027, let's go, baby.
Yeah, and like February in Arizona, like, is there anywhere else you would rather be, like, honestly? And it'll be coming off the heels of the Waste Management Open. So, love Phoenix in the winter, in the spring, however you want to define it. We don't really get a winter here, if we're being completely honest. But yeah, guys, really looking forward to that. And I wonder, we'll talk about it more, I'm sure, but we're curious what the venues are going to be for like the alternate stuff. Is it going to be the Mullet? Is it going to be are they going to get back? Do they still do anything at the Madhouse? I don't know. That would be an interesting one.
I don't know. I mean, years ago, the only thing that I saw at the Madhouse was the Phoenix Mustangs, like the AHL, the minor league C team. I would imagine they try to go to a little bit bigger of a venue, but also at the same time, they'll have the NBA experience thing at the what's right next to the stadium down there, where they have all the conventions. They'll do all that.
Center.
Phoenix Convention Center, whatever it is. Yeah, it makes sense. That's the name of it. But they'll do all that kind of stuff in there. They'll keep most of everything centralized in downtown Phoenix. But from what I've seen out of the Celebrity All-Star Game, it's unless you have a venue that's pretty close to where the All-Star Game is, it's kind of outside of the city. So you could see something happening at Mullet Arena. I feel like that would be a great area, but they're going to have to pack in a couple more seats if they want to really get, hit their bottom dollar at the end of the day.
That's true. That's true. It's all about the money. And I don't know about the convention center for events, because I'm pretty sure they're booked out for the next 5 years with Comic-Cons and furry conventions and things like that. Because every time I'm going downtown, it seems like there's something going on over there. I mean, hey, not gonna yuck your yum. If that's what you like, that's what you like. More power to you. It's a free country, but that's just been my observation going downtown.
I mean, how many Comic-Cons can there be, man? It is crazy. How many times I've been downtown and everybody's in costume. I was like, 2 weeks ago, you guys were in the same costumes. It's crazy, but yeah, we're gonna get things lined up for next year. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, they got a whole 12 months to plan it, so I'm sure they're already on it. But guys, let's keep it pushing, because there is another, actually, it's former Sun that made headlines during this All-Star break, and couldn't come at a better time when games aren't quite happening yet. The All-Star festivities are behind us. Mike, I want you to maybe take the reins here, because it sounds like you've done your research on this topic. I've heard about it real high level, but guys, I'm talking about the Durant files, the KD files, the burner account. Mike, what is going on with all this?
So, I mean, this is what happens when you have downtime in the NBA, right? And people start doing the back end work. We know that Kevin Durant is, I would say, like a professional shit talker at this point, right? The amount of years that he's put into it on Twitter puts him at an upper echelon position compared to other, I would just say, sports athletes overall. But there were some key leaked burner account comments that people are saying are directly from Kevin Durant, going at his new teammates like Alfred Şengün, calling him kind of crap, and I'm just going to turn the ball over, passing to all these crap guys. Jabari Smith Jr. getting some flack on that. Then Chris, pull it up. What's the one that he talked about with Devin Booker and Frank Vogel? Two dictators, Stalin and Hitler, Mussolini and Kim Jong-un. Please have it ready to pop up right now. You got it. Corporate needs you to find the difference between this picture, and they're the same picture. So this is just kind of going back to what we know of Kevin Durant is, man, over the past couple of years, more and more people have come out and said kind of negative things about Kevin Durant as a teammate, as a likable person, as a guy that why he continues to move around is because he can't truly find a home, because he finds the worst in everybody, it seems like. But the beautiful thing about what happened this weekend is, as some people would say, they might not have a true job, but somebody went and created a website literally called the KD Files, going to all of these like tweets going directly after guys. And you start to see some of these people like the best of the best, Drake, Kendrick Lamar, Josh Allen, Marvin Harrison Jr. is catching flat. When is Marvin Harrison Jr. getting involved in KD? But this is where we start to see the most recent ones here, like the Alfred Şengün one. I'm going to turn the ball over with this shitty-ass team. I don't give a fuck. Your franchise player can't shoot or defend. That's a way bigger issue than my turnovers. Remember, these guys are your future. Colin Jamari Smith Jr., the R word. I don't know if we're allowed to say that anymore. I don't think so. But check this website out, man. It truly depicts Kevin Durant as the troll that he is. The tough thing about this, and I want to get Niko's perspective on it, is, man, you haven't even this came out at the All-Star break. You're at the halfway point for a team that is contending in the Western Conference. And if it is true or not, let's lean more towards this probably being true because we have the track record of Kevin Durant. How much do you feel if you're some of those specific guys on his team getting ready for a stretch run in the Western Conference?
I think you better feel like he feels about James Harden. You better hope that he feels the same way about James Harden that he feels about you. Maybe you're just delusional, but you're a good dude. Bro, this is not great. This is not fucking great, man. I mean, look, first of all, this is hysterical. Like, from an outside, like, not my circus, not my clowns, not my rings to jump through, like, perspective, this shit is like chef's kiss. I mean, unnamed Rockets staff member, Steph Curry, everybody's catching these strays, bro. Like you said, Marvin Harrison is getting yomped. Fucking for what? For what reason is Marvin Harrison in here? Shannon Sharp and LeBron James in the same fucking context. Like, what, bro? Literally, the ice cream dude is on this fucking thing. That motherfucker gave me a soggy SpongeBob pop. Like, KD is out for blood. If I'm a Rockets fan, get him off my fucking team. If I'm a GM, don't touch him with the 10-foot fucking pole. Have fun balling in Turkey where all those bums can turn the ball over. Bro, the teammates as a collective. Teammates as a collective. This is the whole fucking team. We're just not going to name people. All 11 of you motherfuckers should work at Lowe's is basically what Kevin Durant's saying. This shit is wild, bro. And the fact that, like, first of all, the fact that somebody did this, like Mike said, one could say this person maybe doesn't have a job, maybe doesn't have a life, but I appreciate every single fucking one of them. Every single one of these tweets, because he's an elite shit talker. And if you can't find a little bit of humor in some of these statements, if you can't find the laughing point of Devin Booker and Frank Vogel, like being Mussolini and Hitler, man, like, you want to talk about two dudes that maybe feel like the least confrontational people in the NBA when it comes to like team basketball and shit like that. Like, what the? Yeah, man. Look, he's Kevin Durant, so if he goes somewhere else, if it's Houston, and you read the writing on the wall, which is the fact that he's talking shit about, quite frankly, literally, he said it, your future. Alfred Şengün is the future of that ball club, and they've made that very clear. He's going after the entire team, and it's been traced back to him. You gotta fucking get him out. There will be another team like Washington who's trying to be like collecting aged superstars plus Trae Young that will like take a chance on him. And like, fuck, man, it's fucking hysterical though. This is so. I knew the thing is that everybody knew Kevin Durant felt this way. We all knew he felt this way. You look at him and you go, he hates everybody. He fucking thinks he's better than everybody. His shit don't stink. He can turn over the ball. Anybody else can't. This shit, bro, it just brings it all light. I think it's so fucking perfect.
Man, there's so many gems. Like, we could honestly do a whole podcast just going through these. And I appreciate this website for at least semi-censoring the words that are inappropriate for children. Because to some extent, we do want to be a little bit family friendly, and we shouldn't be dropping R words or anything like that. But I love it, Mike. You said it best. Kevin Durant is the #1 shit talker, and he also thinks his shit doesn't stink and that he's God's gift to us and basketball. He brought up recently when being criticized that I'm 6th all time. I'm 6th all time. And guys, he's like 450 points away from passing Michael Jordan and being #5 all time. And that's scary. You think he has a big ego now? Wait till he passes Michael Jordan on the all-time scoring list. I think one of the other funny ones that I had to bring up was he called Russell Westbrook a triple-double cocaine bear. which honestly is a great nickname and pretty true. So I mean, there are some truths in here too. He's not just bullshitting. As far as like his teammates, like you just can't be doing that. I know a lot of people, you know, obviously the first thing you ask is it actually his burner? Is it real? Obviously he's going to have that plausible deniability where he can just say, no, that's not me. And there'll be no way for us to prove it. But as soon as this was uncovered, the account was immediately set to private, which, you know, some people say, well, that's obvious proof that it's Kevin Durant. But at the same time, if you're someone pretending to be Kevin Durant and you want to keep that going, then you got to be like, oh shit. As much fun as it would be to continue to poke and prod and post. But the other thing that people have pointed out that I find interesting is he goes from like trying to kind of be like cryptic, talking to stands and people he thinks are on his side, to just straight up speaking in the first person. My teammates are trash. Coach did this, like some insider knowledge. And it's like, I don't know, man, these are some deep cuts. But ultimately, yeah, hilarious. I love it. Very memeable. And the fallout should be very juicy because the trade deadline's passed. He's finishing his season in Houston. So we'll see what happens. Did I say something? Did I fuck up?
No, we just saw the last one.
Oh, okay.
About Ben Simmons.
Bro, he didn't deserve it. He didn't deserve it.
Oh. This is what Kevin Durant is, not only a Hall of Famer in the basketball, just any way that you talk about basketball, first ballot Hall of Famer when it comes down to Naismith. But he's a Hall of Famer when it comes down to social media, man. You just can't make this up. This is truly incredible. I will be deep diving the KD files after the stream tonight, and I will bring some more juice to you guys and probably the masses. But overall, if it is him, man, hopefully they have conversations. He's able to address his teammates properly. But hey, it's not our headache anymore, guys. See how we have turned the corner without Kevin Durant? Maybe there was some truth into the failings of the Phoenix Suns based off of a handful of guys, and you can consider Kevin Durant as one of them.
Well, yeah, and I mean, shit, if you go look at like the shots and stuff from All-Star Weekend, he was like on his phone on the court, and they were like, he's checked his phone more than he's made field goals in the All-Star game. And I don't unverified, I can't find it now, but I heard someone claim that the Rockets like pulled KD in and like told him to chill with the social media stuff, and he walked out of the meeting. I mean, again, it's one of those things where it's like unverifiable, but it's believable because you know Kevin Durant's ego. And the last thing I do want to say, another one of the things from here, there's a plethora, and we do have to move on, but it was funny. He said that when we win, it's Book's team. When we lose, it's my team, about his time with the Suns. And I think there might be a sliver of truth to that, but it also has to do with what you did on the court there, Kevin, which is sometimes you did let us down. But hey, addition by subtraction, we got rid of Kevin Durant. Things are looking up for us, and we'll take it. So guys, let's move it. Let's keep it moving. Let's move on from Kevin Durant as we must. And I want to talk about the Arizona Diamondbacks and the return of the Milkman. He has come back to the Valley on a 1-year, $22 million deal with $14 million deferred, taking a page out of the Los Angeles Dodgers playbook, which is honestly so genius for the Dbacks. They offered him the $22 million qualifying offer about 3 months ago. He turned it down to test his value in free agency, which he had every right to do. And I would have probably done the same thing if I were in his shoes. You got to go see what you can get. It's also being reported that he turned down multiple multi-year offers, and the rumor mill was nothing short of extravagant for Zach Gallen. First, it was the Cubs, then it was the Padres, then it was the Mets. There was all sorts of names being thrown into the hat, even as late as last week, where there was a reporter for the Padres that was like, Zach Gallen is signing, making it sound like the deal was already done. I think she might have some egg on her face now, but guys, Milkman back on a 1-year deal, only getting $8 million this season is a pretty much a no-brainer, right?
Let me jump in on this one first, Niko. This is a no-brainer for the Arizona Diamondbacks and Zach Gallen because, yes, the rumor mill was going off in regard to the multi-year deals, similar to Merrill Kelly, but the numbers weren't where Zach wanted. I think Zach wants $35 to $40 million a year, and after what he did the past, I'd say, year and a half, that market just wasn't truly believable for him. But when you look at this deal, like you said, $14 million of it is deferred, and it's between 2031 and 2035 in 5 installments, where the Diamondbacks are only paying $2.8 million. So, and it truly made sense for him because the net present value of the contract is still $18.7 million, and he's going to be able to re-enter free agency next year, still as a younger guy, 31 years old. In terms of starting pitchers, as we know, if you're some of the best of the best, you'd be pitching into your mid 40s, guys, and he won't have to have a qualifying offer attached to him next year. So I look at the stats here and what I need from Zach Gallen. 2022, 2023 finished top 5 in the NL Cy Young voting, but then it was downhill. 2024, his walk rate jumped from 5.1 to 8.7. We know last year, almost a 5 ERA, 4.83, only 21.5% strikeout ratio. 31 home runs allowed. It was an all-career worst season for him last year. But we also do know at the same time, the final 11 starts, he did have a 3.32 ERA. So he turned things around in August and September. So it's a positive light. But I think the best thing about this signing, Chris, too, is that we remember what happened last year with Torey Lovello taking his sweet time deciding who was going to be the opening day starter, as he was going through all of the emotions with Zach being his guy after the Diamondbacks just signed Corbin Burns to this huge deal. Excuse me. And they signed Zach Gallen, and basically like the next day or the day after, they said, Merrill Kelly is our opening day starter. I love that. I absolutely love that. They know who they invested into longer term than Zach Gallen. We are appreciative of what Zach has done for his 7 years here in the Valley as well. But is he a part of the next great Arizona Diamondbacks team? That's the true question you have to ask. And you don't have to. There's no more coddling with this baseball team the same way with Ketel Marte. We don't have to coddle Zach Gallen. He got paid. He's going to go into free agency next year. Let's pitch. Let's get some wins with him. But we all still see the writing on the wall, which Zach Gallen will not be a long-term player for the Arizona Diamondbacks, which is totally fine, and I think a lot of us expected. I honestly didn't expect him to come back this season, guys. So this is a net positive overall, I would say.
Yeah, and I think it makes sense all around. Like you mentioned, it's like a safe landing spot for him. He has almost a redo at his prove it year. He's still going to be relatively young when he comes into free agency next year, and then he'll have that deferred money for a little bit of a payday in the future. And I don't think he's going to lose any sleep at night still making $8 million this year. I just don't. I find that hard to imagine. But I mean, man, it's kind of crazy. I didn't think we'd get Gallen back either, because it would kind of seem like the writing was on the wall, to use that term again, at the end of last season, where it was like you can have Kelly or you can have Gallen, take your pick. And the Dbacks swooped in and they got Merrill Kelly back real quick. So it's like, all right, well, Zach Gallen's not coming back. Where's he going to go? And then that news dropped late, I think Friday evening, and it's like, oh, holy shit, that's pretty good news for a Friday. And I mean, I'll take it. I mean, Niko, were you just as surprised as Mike and I when that notification came through?
Yeah, I mean, I was and I wasn't. I kind of figured Zach Gallen would go immediately if he was going to go. I figured that's what he wanted. I figured that's what his team wanted. Because like Mike said, he wanted 35 to 40. He wants to be paid like an ace. He wants to be paid like 2022 to 2023 Zach Gallen probably deserved to be paid. The problem is that if you guys ever play a video game, like a sports video game, you play the computer, you can whoop the computer 137 to 32. And then that gets boring. So you press simulate to get to the playoffs, and then your team starts winning 87 to 80. And then you start losing 72 to 90. That's what happened to Zach Gallen, man. Somebody was playing as character mode Zach Gallen, and then 2024 happened. 2025 happened. Like it's all been kind of downhill. So ultimately, like Chris said, he gets another shot at the prove it deal. Mike already made the point that this is a no-brainer. It is a no-brainer. We're getting him for, I mean, relatively speaking, next to nothing as far as like potential output goes. I do agree that I like the call for Merrill Kelly to be your opening day starter immediately. We're not dealing with that bullshit. We're not doing this circus game, which honestly I think probably pissed Zach Gallen off last year because it either should have been him. It should have been a decision made way sooner by Torrey. But I don't know, guys. I'm in a weird mode with the Diamondbacks right now where they make these moves, but then it's like they also feel like the type of moves where we didn't get who we wanted, so we settled for who was left. So I don't know. Gallen makes sense though. Smart move. It's 1 year of at least decent pitching. And if it's not, then like we said, we didn't take too much skin off our knees, and we can reassess it. But if it's not, we need to figure out who a long-term ace is, because it won't be Merrill Kelly at that age either. So that's my big concern is like, go make a play for, and I go Corbin Burns. I know we have Corbin Burns. I'm not forgetting about him, but let's not forget Corbin Burns has not played like a full season as a Diamondback, gentlemen. Like, so hoping that he's going to be a full-time, like, lead of the rotation guy when we've seen him for a quarter of the season. I don't know. It's tough to be optimistic, but like here I am being optimistic because it's springtime and I haven't heard a wooden baseball or a baseball bat on a baseball in some time. So the second that bat cracks, I'll go, oh, well, we got all the chance in the world to win anything. We can do whatever we want. But it's spring, gentlemen, so let's just, I guess, enjoy it.
Hey man, just go along with the ride, man. And I think that's kind of like the mindset is like they're still trying to build a competitive roster where we can start the season, strong, be in the mix, and then around the All-Star break or the middle of the summer, we get some guys healthy, and you hope that they can come back right away and produce with the guys like, what was it? We said Corbin Burns. Why am I forgetting everybody's name all of a sudden? The closer, Justin Martinez, AJ Puck's coming back as well. So you get those guys back in the mix and you hope they can come back and produce. But I like the Gallen move. He's a guy that has been relatively healthy throughout his career. I don't believe he's ever had a Tommy John surgery, and that'll bode, his pitching style just bodes well for him having longevity in this league. So at just like 30 years old, I think he is still got a lot of gas in the tank. You got to think. But as far as that roster construction and investing, you really got to appreciate what Ken Kendrick is doing with opening up the wallet in the past few years. It's almost like they're trying to run it back with the 2023 roster. And it's interesting. I heard this today, which I didn't know. I could be getting this wrong, but I believe they said that the Diamondbacks are one of the top 5 teams in revenue earned being reinvested back into the payroll of the team. So they're never complain about Ken Kendrick as one of the owners in the Valley. He's doing it right. Honestly, aside from Michael Bidwell, our ownership situation is getting quite a bit better. So maybe we can get them all in the same room. They can have a nice conversation with Michael Bidwell, get rid of the casino, but we'll get to that later. But as far as I say, running back the 2023 Arizona Diamondbacks, we see on the graphic here as well, we have agreed to terms with right-handed pitcher Paul Sewald, and it's a 1-year, $1.5 million deal for the, what is he, Mike, 55, 56 years old? How old is Paul Sewald now?
Oh, man. No, is he in his 40s yet? He might be up there.
No, he's only 35. I'm sorry.
1 year, I mean, sometimes, hey, I can attest, you feel like you're in your 40s and you're 35. But 1 year, $1.5 million, easy peasy. We know that when we traded for him in 2023, he was a key catalyst for that team's run, had 13 saves after the trade deadline. But the injuries are the issues with him at this point. He only pitched in 42 games in 2024. And then last year with the Guardians and Tigers, combined 22 games. So what are you going to get out of him? This bullpen is still reeling from all the injuries that it had. But if he is somebody who is ready to go at spring training and ready to start, and it sounds like it is a major league deal, so he will be expected to be on the opening day roster, which is fine, man. We need arms. We need people. And we've seen what Paul Sewald has done in the past. It made sense by the time that we did cut bait with him that it was time to move on because you had guys like Justin Martinez coming in, AJ Puck, Andrew Saalfrank to a certain extent as well. And literally all 3 of those guys are hurt, and Andrew Saalfrank will not pitch in 2026. So you got to get what you can get. So I think this is a fine move. it's not truly a needle mover move for me. But hey, welcome back, Paul, man. I always am appreciative and accepting and totally okay with bringing back familiar faces who helped us get to almost the pinnacle or were parts of some of the best teams that the Valley has seen, man. That's fine. Welcome back, Paul.
Yeah, I mean, for the money, it makes sense. Kick the tires on him for $1.5 million. If he's not getting it done and he needs space, you don't feel that bad about waiving him and letting that go. And then maybe, I mean, I'd make fun of him being old, but I guess 35 relative isn't that old. But he does have that injury history, and he has shown a steep decline since his days with the Mariners, and then that World Series run with the Dbacks. It just not been looking good for him. But Niko, as far as you're concerned, I guess you would be a good person to ask about this with the time you spent on the grounds crew and close to an MLB organization. Could this be looked at as like a locker room guy, or I guess they call it like a bullpen guy, someone to maybe be a little bit of a mentor, or are they truly hoping that he can come out and produce?
I don't know if he's a locker room addition. I truly think that this is a situation where the Diamondbacks went, oh, he's familiar, and we're familiar with him, and can he throw the ball over the plate? Sometimes. Okay, well, fucking sign him. We need arms. That's truly what I felt like this was. I do expect them to use him, and like Mike said, he was a great part of that World Series roster, a sweet acquisition. But Chris, as you noted, a severely steep decline. Like, we were talking about Paul Sewald as one of the best closers in the game. In his last year with the Mariners before we traded for him. So he was a valued closing commodity at the trade deadline. That's not it doesn't mean your chump change. Wrigley, chill out. But yeah, I don't know, guys. I maybe it's because I fucking invest money into this team now, but I find myself looking at some of these acquisitions, and I went, oh, so we did the fantasy draft and we didn't set the order. We got pick 15 right in the fucking middle. That's why we got Carlos Santana when we really wanted, not to throw shade at Carlos Santana, but I don't think he wasn't on my radar as a potential Diamondback signing. So I don't know. The Paul Sewald thing is, it's throwing shit at the wall to hope it sticks, and it's to like you said, patch up. We got guys that aren't going to pitch in that bullpen for a considerable amount of time. Mike nailed it on the head. It's not a needle mover. Actually, for me, it's slightly a bit of a red flag that we are pulling Paul back in, because when we had the opportunity to sign Paul to a contract. We had the opportunity to keep Paul Sewald around. We got rid of him because he was fucking doo-doo on the mound. He was fucking caca, and it wasn't fucking doing anything for the team. So I want to sit here and be like, hey, I'm going to give him another chance, but at the same time, if I have to sit my fat ass in those bleachers and sweat every single game, and Paul Sewald's going to come out there and throw 2 innings of 3 earned run ball as a closer, I'm going to vomit on the field. So I have a hard time. And like I said, I think this is probably way more of a biased take because I'm in the fucking building, but man, it's a little bit of a red flag that we're running back to our exes. They're our exes for a reason.
Hey, that is a fantastic point. And to maybe play devil's advocate, or I guess maybe even highlight your point, I don't think the D-backs make this move if AJ Puck and Justin Martinez are healthy. I mean, actually, I guarantee you they don't. Also, even if Kevin Ginkel was just a little bit better last year, you still might not even have to do this. Because, I mean, guys, it's again, we're finding ourselves in the exact same situation as last year, is who the hell is going to be our closer? There's no clear-cut candidate. I mean, if Puck or Martinez are healthy, you know it's going to be one of them, but they're not. So what the hell are they going to do? They're throwing stuff at the wall, and they're going to see what sticks through spring training and get us through the first part of this season. Now, we are going to do a Arizona Diamondbacks spring training deep dive next week. VSP Tallman and I are going to get on here and break down everything that's going on with the Arizona Diamondbacks. I'm sure we'll rehash some of this stuff, but maybe just to give a little sneak peek, I do want to ask you two about one little bit of a topic, if I may, because it's somewhat related to the pitching. Now, we'll make this quick, but I'm looking at the potential rotation here, and it was already announced by Torey Lovello that Merrill Kelly will be the opening day starter. And then in no particular order, but probably a particular order, you're going to have Zach Gallen, Ryan Nelson, Eduardo Rodriguez, Brandon Pfaadt, and maybe Michael Soroka gets in there somewhere. Again, a guy they're kicking the tires on. But I'm looking at this, guys, and Eduardo Rodriguez is our only lefty. I'm going to repeat that. Eduardo Rodriguez is our only lefty. Mike, do you have any concern about the right-handed heaviness of our rotation?
I do. I always like to change a pace. I like to have at least 2 lefties in there. But, I mean, the guy that I always wanted to be good, Tommy Henry, is just nowhere to be found. And I think we'll never get another opportunity on this ball club. But, hey, it is what it is. Like, here's the thing. If Michael Soroka finds himself as like a 6th starter, I don't know how I feel about that, because I want to be getting my money's worth this year out of Zach Gallen. You know what I'm saying? I don't want him pitching 5 or 6 games less than he could if we just had a 5-man starting rotation. So now I think you can always pencil in an injury here or there. You know, is Merrill going to cramp up as he consistently has the past 2 years? Is Eduardo going to hold up himself? So that's why it was always positive to have Ryan Nelson kind of waiting in the helm. But with how he's been like our most consistent pitcher the past 2 years, you had to put him in there. And I would almost be considering him as our 3rd starter in that rotation, just with how great he has pitched the past 2 years. But there's always some concerns. I think you just work around it. You game plan it to the best of your ability. But I don't know if I would go with Eduardo at the 5 spot, because then if you're having, you know, a whole series with just righties, I don't love that, is what I'm trying to say. Try and split it up as best as possible, but we will see.
Yeah, and I mean, Eduardo Rodriguez with that ugly 5.01 ERA last season, it makes me want to throw up in my mouth. And Niko, you were having, as you pointed out, having to sit up in the stands and watch those terrible performances week after week. Do you think that the D-backs should have made more of an effort to add another lefty to this rotation, or is it just like a lack of options? They had no choice.
Look, yeah, this is baseball. It's fucking Monopoly money. Throw the shit around. I don't care, man. Like, throw it. Everybody else is throwing it. Everybody else is out here we'll give you $300 million deferred. I'll give you $400 million deferred, a gold bar, and fucking the magic carpet from Aladdin. It doesn't matter. It's not fucking real. Make it up. Make it up on the spot. If he wants fucking a 64-karat gold watch and a cloud to be bottled into a fucking plastic water bottle so he can keep it in his locker as a good luck charm, tell him you'll do it. It's fucking made up. I have a hard time with the fact that, like, yeah, we're not, like, I know that we push to be a big, like, we're gonna make a push. We're all in behind this team. We're gonna make a push. And then you're telling me that we have fucking 4 right-handed pitchers? What are we pushing? The ball out of the stadium? Like, what is going on? I mean, the Mike hit it on the head. If we have a series where, like, if Rodriguez is pitching in the 5 spot, what? Like, they're going to see the ball from the same vantage point all series long. We're going to make these average Joes, Major League Baseball players. We're going to make decent Major League Baseball players look like goddamn Mo Vaughn and Jim Thome. I don't know. I really don't know what is the thought process when you look at when you press that little button and it says team roster, and then you press the right trigger and you down scroll, and then it says starting pitching rotation, and you look at it and you go, I got a lot of right-handers. Maybe I need to go get a lefty by any means necessary. By any means, we're willing to defer $22 million for Zach Gallen. Defer for somebody else, please. Defer for a left-handed pitcher. I think I've hit my limit as a Diamondbacks fan with the, like, look at us. We're doing good things. We're doing good things. I'm tired of you telling me we're doing good things. Like, fucking do the good things. Do the things that make sense. So I'm frustrated, to say the least, and I'm not looking forward to it.
Chris, you can really feel both sides of the table over here, right? Coming from somebody who's my expectations are not high, Niko. Just don't get me wrong. We're going to get to that pretty soon within the next couple of weeks, talking about the Arizona Diamondbacks. But you're listening to a man who has invested his hard-earned money to go see this product. So I get where the frustration is coming from. Trust me, I felt the same way to start the season with the Phoenix Suns. So I feel your pain, brother.
That's why I feel like the unofficial motto of Valley Sports Plug is starting to become like proceed with cautious optimism. Like, it's okay to be optimistic, but at the end of the day, this is still the Valley and there's a curse hovering above us and we have not found a way to expel these demons yet. But Niko, I somewhat agree. I know it probably turns them off a little bit because they are already paying $20 million for the services of Eduardo Rodriguez for him to put up a 5 ERA. But at the same time, there were some notable lefties out there in who was it? Ranger Suarez, who signed with the Red Sox, and Framber Valdez that went to Detroit. It's like, I never even heard that even be considered by our team for like, hey, maybe we'll throw an offer in there. It's just like, yeah, we're just gonna, do what we can and run it back with the 2023 Dbacks. But like I said, we'll get Tallman's take on that. We'll pull him in here and we'll break it all down for you next week. To finish this stream out here, this Valley Sports Plug live with you guys, I think we got a couple of very hot topics in the Valley, and I don't want to say we saved the best for last, but boy, oh boy, is the NFL offseason heating up, and your Arizona Cardinals are right in the mix of all the stories. We'll start out with the slightly less juicy story. Of course, we got the head coach, Mike LaFleur. He's starting to build out his coaching staff. Got some guys in here already. He's still keeping it pretty young, all things considered. But the big news was that the Arizona Cardinals are going to retain the services of defensive coordinator Nick Rallis. And the reporting from Jeremy Fowler said he was kept due to play calling experience and continuity, aka nobody else wanted to take this job. They interviewed a whole bunch of people from what it sounds like, or at least multiple candidates. But I guess there is something to be said about his familiarity with the roster that will still be here next season. But I do think it's interesting because he did start to get under some fire last year with his play calling, and he was calling the plays, although it seems like Gannon, I don't want to call him a scapegoat by necessary, but he did take a lot of the blame. Mike, what do you think about Nick Rallis sticking around in Arizona?
Man, it's just incredible how fast things have turned the incorrect way for the Arizona Cardinals. Because if you guys remember, coming off of not 2025, but 2024, the second year of Nick Rallis, people were worried that he might become the next, head coaching candidate that a lot of teams are going to be interested, especially for how young he is and how brilliant of a defensive mind everybody talked about from him. You can kind of talk about, the first 8 to 9 weeks of last year as well. Nick Rallis was in a positive light. Those were when the Cardinals were losing all of these one-score games. They were 2-7, but had lost, by 15 total points in all these games. And then the last 2 months, the way that team deteriorated and specifically how that defense played was a fireable offense. So this is just absolutely completely out of the blue that he is being retained. But Chris, you alluded to it. It's because nobody wanted this job. Nobody wanted this job. Albert Breer, NFL Insider, he said the Cardinals offered Gus Bradley more money and play calling than the Titans, and he still decided to go to Tennessee to go and kind of ride off into the sunset with his buddy Robert Saleh. I get it. Gus was he's coming towards the end of his career. He doesn't want more responsibilities. But, then the guy that I thought was the surefire hire, and Aubrey Pleasant, who was, Mike's friend in his time in LA. Then you had guys like Carl Scott coming off of a dominant Super Bowl win, Charlie Bullen, Wink Martindale. All these guys were interviewed. A couple of them were also offered, and nobody took the job. So this is concerning. This is absolutely concerning because we talked about what we wanted from this staff in general, right? We wanted experience. So I'm totally okay with them wanting somebody who has experience in play calling. But the major concern now with bringing back Nick Rallis, guys, is that these young pieces that are consistently invested in through Monty Austinford's draft picks are not turning the corner and not taking those next level steps. And this year is going to be a mandate to be semi-competent. So if you're not balling out on that side of the football, especially with so many concerns and question marks on the offensive side, specifically the quarterback position, you're going to need that side of the football to be absolutely dominant and like a top 10 defense the entire season for us to win 8 games. So for them to trust him to come back with a first-time head coach with a lot of young guys in that room is really crazy. The Arizona Cardinals have butchered this offseason already. I don't know what's going to happen with the NFL draft. The combine is coming up pretty soon. I can't wait to hear more nonsense being spewed. But this is all red flags where Niko was talking about for the Diamondbacks. This is the ultimate red flag where I am truly concerned about the future and the vision of this franchise more than I ever have been in my life, gentlemen.
Yeah, I mean, how could you not be concerned? I mean, it wasn't even like this DC position you have to think. There are probably other positions, including head coach, that were struggle to fill. I mean, I think technically the Raiders were the last team to fill their head coaching vacancy, but really it was the Cardinals who was the last team because they were kind of holding out, hoping that they could get the guy from the Seahawks. Oh, what's his name? But man, it's not great. It's not great. And I just wonder, again, sometimes I like to do this. I like to play devil's advocate, look for a silver lining. So Niko, let me know if I'm out of line here. But Nick Rallis is still a young guy, 32 years old. Obviously, as Mike pointed out, he was in those conversations for a rising star. We could lose him to a head coaching job. Gannon was a defensive coordinator for the Eagles, famously. That's how he got the Arizona Cardinals head coaching job. So they said Rallis was calling the defense, but he did have Gannon there to lean on. And maybe, I don't know, I have no inside knowledge, but maybe Gannon had overrode him on some decisions here and there. And so there is some blame to be passed around. But now Rallis is going to be the sole guy. Like I don't know if he's really going to have anyone to lean on for their defensive expertise. Like he's the go-to guy. Do you think it's kind of, I guess, A, do you think he was nerfed by Gannon? And B, sink or swim here, do you think he's going to swim?
I don't know if you can say if it was nerfed by Gannon or not. I don't know if we have enough evidence one way or the other to even hypothesize. But, dude, this is bad. Like, this is really bad. I know this is going to sound like an overreaction. We're 10 years away from there not being NFL football in Arizona if this is how this is going to continue. The Bidwells will lose the fan base. The fans will stop showing up. They will stop making money. And the franchise that has moved 3 states in 100 years will find its fourth. I don't think that I don't think I've ever, gentlemen, seen a job not taken on an NFL level to the point where, like, you have to be like, yeah, put out a statement as to why we're rehiring the shit coach from last year. Put out a statement quick. Somebody figure it out. They're going to know something's wrong. I've never, Wink Martindale doesn't have a job, guys. He's not making fucking money. And he said, no, thank you. No, thank you. I'd rather not make money and be at home as opposed to coming in every day and working for this surefire, first ballot, hall of fucking flaming shit organization. It is unreal, man. I cannot. I know we're talking about a defensive coordinator being re-signed. But what we're talking about is generally 32 teams in the league, 32 defensive coordinators. You want to talk about probably tens of coaches underneath them defensively. guys, we're talking about possibly like 100 people who didn't want to fucking take this job. Like that's in today's market, gentlemen. In today's day and age, we're going to say no to money because we're that bad. We're that bad at the pinnacle of the pinnacle. People are taking jobs in fucking Tennessee, guys. Tennessee ain't having none of these issues. And I'd argue Tennessee was the worst fucking football team that we've been. But Tennessee has somewhat of a future, and at least an organization that hasn't shot themselves repeatedly in the foot so many goddamn times that you have veteran coaches like Wee Martindale going, you're not going to catch me dead in there, dude. You're not going to catch me wearing the Cardinal red. So, yeah, whatever this iteration of Carolina Panther pre-Jake Delhomme fucking football that the Cardinals are putting on the field, this fucking Houston Oilers towards the back end of their decade, this Cleveland Browns football organization. That's what we're guys. I saw a post the other day that said, is it worse to be a Cardinals fan or a Browns fan? That's where we're at. Like, if that doesn't tell you what you need to know, the Browns, who have gone through 87 fucking starting quarterbacks in like 10 years, we're on the page with the Browns. That's where we're at, guys. If that doesn't sum it up as to what kind of red flag party we're having, talk about Six Flags. We got Six Flags. We got Six Flags times about 100, and they're all red. So, yeah, guys, I know I've been very negative on this podcast. I know I have not said a lot of positive things about Arizona sports. I do understand that. But in all reality, guys, there ain't fucking positivity happening. The only positivity is the Phoenix Suns. That's the only warm spot in our universe right now, because when I turn around, there's the dark fucking monsoon that is the Cardinals. And Bidwell on top of it with the fucking lasso riding the whole thing into town. So I'm trying so hard to be optimistic, but they're not giving me anything to be optimistic on. You can't even get me an old defensive coordinator that flamed out of Baltimore. Like, I mean, give me something to at least hang a hat on that I can go, no, we have this guy. We don't even have that. So I'll step off the soapbox, but God bless the fucking San Diego Cardinals.
Neeks, bringing the heat, full doomer on a Tuesday night in Arizona. Man, I would rather have you speak passionately and from the heart than to come out here and sugarcoat things and pretend like everything's okay, because you're absolutely right. And I don't need to reiterate everything you just said, but it's a terrible look. It is a bad look when coaches don't want to come here, and when it's starting to get that perception like the Arizona Cardinals are where careers go to die. When you look at our last three head coaches, and Steve Wilkes, Cliff Kingsbury, and John Gannon, I know it's soon for Kingsbury and Gannon, but those guys haven't gotten head coaching opportunities again. And now Kingsbury and Gannon, and I think, is Wilkes still in the league somewhere? I think he's still in the league somewhere. But I think a lot of guys are looking at these jobs like, man, I would rather go to another terrible franchise like the Titans because they're slightly less terrible than the Cardinals. And for a long time, I think we kidded ourselves that we weren't the bottom feeders of the league. And now we're for sure a bottom five team. And it's probably been that way for a little bit longer than we would have liked to admit. But guys, I mean, just buckle up, because for their next trick, watch them fumble the Kyler Murray situation. Pun fully intended. The Arizona Cardinals have until March 16th before the $19.5 million of Kyler Murray's contract becomes fully guaranteed for 2027. And guys, I mean, clock's ticking. I'm looking at the calendar. It's February 17th. That means we have less, and I say we, meaning the Arizona Cardinals, have less than a month to find out what they're going to do with him. And I guarantee you, Niko, they're going to fuck it up somehow. At the end of the day, if they only get a 5th round pick in return and they get someone to take the majority of his contract, good riddance. I'll be okay with it. But, similar to what we talked about earlier with Zach Gallen and his offseason, the rumor mill is in full swing for the Kyler Murray. I don't even know if it's a Kyler Murray sweepstakes, just like the Kyler Murray pity party. It's like, is it going to be the Jets, the Vikings, the Falcons? It seems like there's been 16 plus teams named as possible landing spots for Kyler Murray. But I think there are some that have more smoke than others. when you look at their current quarterback situation. And the one that I believe we were going to start with here is the New York Jets. And obviously they rolled the dice with Justin Fields last season, saw if they could make that work, and that experiment just didn't work. So now, are they up for that once again? Are they up for going out there, making a trade for Kyler Murray? We see here, Mike, I'll pass it to you real quick. What do we got here for the Jets offer?
I appreciate you. I'll give it to the people. So Bill Barnwell of ESPN put out this article yesterday that talked, I think 10 different trades in the NFL that would be beneficial for both teams. And this was the first trade listed in this article where Kyler Murray and a 6th round pick in the 2026 NFL draft would be traded to the Jets, where the Cardinals would get a 4th round pick. So you're talking about a day 3 pick, if I'm not mistaken, to get rid of Kyler Murray. And Chris, I'm 100% aligned with you. We've been aligned pretty consistently over the past couple of weeks. It's just time to get Kyler Murray out of the door. And I think in any facet of trading Kyler Murray, the Arizona Cardinals are going to have to eat some of his salary. So, man, it's an Arizona sports thing, guys, because if you think of DeAndre Ayton, if you think of these high-level, high-profile guys that were drafted with high picks, to literally not even be able to get a 2nd-round pick for somebody who was drafted 1st overall is due to mismanagement. It's due to you playing coy and acting like Kyler was hurt this entire time, where it was the worst kept secret that everybody knew he wasn't hurt. They moved in a different direction. So now everybody knows that that relationship is fractured. So the Cardinals have no leverage in anything. So like I would cross my heart and do a rosary for a freaking 5th round pick at this point, boys. Anything. Because if you're talking about outright cutting Kyler Murray, I know that there are ways to kind of get around with as much as the cap hit that gets done, but if you do it before June 1st and whatnot, but you're still talking about like $30+ million a year going to waste for a guy who at that point would be able to pick his destination and where he wants to go. And now there's the rumors of Minnesota. It sounds like, hey, who wouldn't want to go play with Justin Jefferson? I mean, you're going to go freeze your ass off, but that's somebody that you can throw the ball into the air at, which we know to a certain extent Kyler loves to do because he can't read the field. You just got to throw it in the direction of the guy. So I feel like all of these kind of scenarios where these NFL insiders are talking about trades still at this point, guys, is almost a pipe dream, because it is remarkable how much leverage the Arizona Cardinals do not have in this situation. The only way that you will be able to pull off some type of trade is if some team is 100% invested in him, because you know that there is going to be a bidding war once he hits the open market, because he still is better than most, if not all, of the guys that are going to be available in this free agency round. So, wow, we've done it again. We found so you talk about Monty Austinfort messing it up. Chris is already messed up. They already are fucked.
Yeah. I mean, as simply as you can put it, they are absolutely fucked. They have zero leverage here. And they're honestly probably on the phone right now begging teams to be like, give us a 5th round pick, give us a 6th round pick. We'll eat $15 million of this contract. Just please get this guy off our roster. And I want to believe that because all these rumors are swirling, that maybe there's like this false market where teams will be like, oh, well, I'll give up a 4th round pick so I don't have to bid with the Jets or the Vikings or the Browns. But I mean, honestly, like, how realistic are any of these options? I mean, there is enough film on Kyler Murray at this point, and it's not even just the on the field stuff. Like the off the field optics for Kyler haven't been great either. And we don't need to rehash all that. Anyone listening knows it's not a good situation to be in. And the fact that this is all being done out in the open and has been for a long time, and all these other teams know this, does not help us one bit. I am starting to see that the Vikings are heating up. We heard the Steelers rumors last year and nothing happened there. The Falcons are expected to release Kirk Cousins, but they do have Michael Penix still. I know he's had some injury stuff going on, I believe, but it's like, I don't know. I guess what is the appetite for Kyler Murray as a 1-year rental? And I think that only works if you get him off the free agent market. I don't know if you can do that via a trade. So I have to know what Niko thinks about this. And I wonder, Niko, what you think about the prospect of Kyler Murray wearing the Cardinal red next year.
I have a positive take about this. I can be positive about this. I am absolutely positive the second that Kyler Murray walks out of those doors that say Arizona Cardinal football on it and walk into any of the other 31 doors in the NFL, he will be 5 times the football player he was inside of this building. That's what I'm fucking positive about. I am positive that we will figure out a way to somehow fuck this up again. I put in our group chat, we're not going to trade him. You know what my fear is that we're so incompetent as a fucking franchise that we're going to miss the date to trade him because we can't find what we want, because we think he's still a first overall pick, but he's not, because we've damaged him. We've put him in an abusive relationship and we've beaten him for 5 years. And then we wonder why he flinches. And we're like, why the fuck does this dog flinch? I don't fucking know. Why do you think the dog flinches? Because you put him in a shit situation and the dog's in a shit situation. Dude, this whole thing has me spinning out into the point where I'm like, we're going to draft a quarterback while we have Kyler Murray on the roster. We're somehow not going to cut him. They're going to do some sort of quarterback fucking battle between Fernando friggin' Mendoza or whoever is going to be available at that 3 pick. I'm seeing the worst of all worse. I was the biggest Kyler Murray supporter, gentlemen. I've come on this podcast before and said multiple times, Kyler's underrated. Kyler doesn't get the credit he deserves. We didn't give Kyler a fair shot. We didn't do this. We didn't do that. Fact of the matter is, the day that commissioner said with the first overall pick, the Arizona Cardinals select Kyler Murray, was the day that Kyler Murray's career as an Arizona Cardinal fucking died. That point right there. That moment. The second he handed him that jersey and it said Murray won on the back and they did the commish hug and everybody booed Roger because that's what we do. That was the death of Kyler Murray's fucking career. The second he stepped inside of this building. It hurts me so much to see one of honestly, in my opinion, and I will probably take a lot of heat on this because there are a lot of really good, especially like in our lifetime, college quarterbacks. Kyler Murray is the best college quarterback I've ever seen with my own 2 eyes. He was unreal at Oklahoma. The fact that we took that star and then we rubbed dirt on it so much to the point that the star doesn't shine. And now the star is just so dirty that no one knows it's a fucking star. And then he's gonna go to New York or he's gonna go to Pittsburgh. Watch him go to Pittsburgh. Watch him go to Pittsburgh and watch him be Mike McCarthy's fucking renaissance. Watch him take the Steelers to 12 wins. Like, it's gonna hurt, guys. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt me really bad. But I'll buy the Kyler jersey for the Steelers because guess who's not getting my money? Fucking Bidwell. You're not getting my fucking dollars. You don't deserve them. You treat the fan base like shit. You treat the players like shit. You treat the staff like shit. Sell the team. Off the soapbox.
Hold on, Chris.
Okay.
Before you lead us out, let me just say this. You guys need to stop thinking that Kyler Murray is going to be an Arizona Cardinal. It's over. He will never put on that red again. Didn't you hear Mike LaFleur's comments every time that they've been asked about him? There is no buy-in to him, and the only thing that they say is we are discussing the roster. That is signaling that he is not a part of this future. I'm sorry. And for even thinking about giving a guy, even though he was a number 1 overall pick, a third regime to get it right, no. Everybody needs a fresh start. Kyler Murray needs a fresh start. The Arizona Cardinals need a fresh start. Hell, gentlemen, I hope he goes wherever he goes and has success, because for having to put up with 7 years with Michael Bidwell and that bullshit, more power to you. I hope the best for you. My big thing, which I want to end off on with the Arizona Cardinals here, is I think this is going to happen faster than you imagine. in regard to either him being cut or being traded. I think it will happen before the NFL draft because teams need to know what they're going to do with their quarterback position before that time frame comes. So it's happening sooner than you think. But it just speaks into the grandiose negative that is the Arizona Cardinals right now in overall every aspect that is happening with this franchise. Arizona Sports 98.7 is doing their Newsmaker Week, and for the first time in literally ever, there will be no representative from the Arizona Cardinals making an appearance to talk about the franchise. No Michael Bidwell, no Monty Austinfort, no brand new head coach Mike LaFleur. On the scheduled 1 week every single year where every single major sport and major program in the state shows up, and they have decided to go into hiding this time. This franchise is weak. The leadership is weak. We are in the worst spot that we have ever been in. So, Chris, at this point, like I said, I will double down on this. I hope they let Kyler Murray leave because I don't think anybody who has invested that much time deserves this at this point. Do not try and run it back with him. Try and see if he can go to greener pastures because Lord knows this is going to be a living hell for another 3 to 5 seasons, Chris, like you thought of the freaking Phoenix Suns, man.
Yeah, and it might actually be the reality for the Cardinals. I did not know that about Newsmakers Week, and that says a lot. That speaks volumes, and any fan hearing that should be worried. To be quite honest with you, everything we discussed, from them struggling to find a coach willing to come here, to them now fumbling this whole Kyler Murray situation and not being willing to go and talk to the media about it, because I've noticed, and you guys might have too, with 98.7 specifically, and I'll call them out specifically. They have always carried water for the Arizona Cardinals until very recently. In the past couple of years, they've started to ask tough questions. They've started to be a little more critical, and they risk their all-inclusive access from the training facility and all that. And I mean, they're the biggest name in the Valley when it comes to sports media. So I think it would be the worst possible look to take that away from them. And that's sad when a media station has more leverage over you than you have over the rest of the Valley. But I guess there's more at play there than I really understand. I do understand where you're coming from, Niko, and it's hard not to be jaded about athletes leaving the Valley and finding success elsewhere. But I do find it hard to buy into the fact that the Cardinals did nothing for him when we hired a college coach to come be our head coach because he fit a similar style and he wanted to run a college style. When we went and got Hollywood Brown when we didn't need to, and he sucked ass here the whole time he was here. We went and got D-Hop for a franchise legend in David Johnson. And then even with the Gannon hire, I'm pretty sure they had him involved in that selection, and he called Gannon my guy and was fully brought in. You had Trey McBride. You got all these pieces that we always tried to put around him, and it just never worked out. So, like, what is the common denominator at the end of the day? It might be Michael Bidwell, but I think it's Kyler Murray. I think Kyler Murray fucking sucks. I also think Michael Bidwell sucks. So it's like two cheeks of the same ass, right? They both suck. And unfortunately, we can't get rid of Bidwell. So what do? You got to get rid of Kyler Murray. But man, love these conversations. Love hopping on here and talking with you guys, especially when it's Suns, Cardinals, Dbacks, man, the big three. Love to do it. I'm sad we couldn't do the trivia tonight, but we will have it soon. And I really intend for us to have that rematch between the Cousins Bellick and Throbby for Bobby, possibly soon to be renamed trivia team there. But fellas, of course, as always, I do have to give you guys each the floor one last time to share your thoughts, get anything off your chest, or plug anything you might have going on. So Neeks, we'll start with you first, bro. What do you got?
Despite maybe what you all may have heard on this podcast tonight, I am excited about Arizona athletics. I do love my Arizona sports teams. I know that a lot of passionate fans can be taken for not true fans because they speak the word and they don't go with everything that the fan base or the franchise hands them. I commend all, especially Arizona Cardinal fans, to stand out on your deck and yell to the heavens because we don't deserve this as a fan base. It's not fair. It's not fair to us. It's not fair for the Bidwell to do that. guys, we're from the generation that listened to the Bird Gang on the radio because we couldn't sell out fucking stadium. Yeah, and then we went and built another one. I commend all Arizona Cardinals fans for hanging in there. It's tough, but stand up and make your voice heard. I don't think that a fan base is going to push the sale of a team, but it can make some changes. Look at Washington. So that's what I'm going to leave here with. If you love your Cardinals, stand up and make a difference.
Amen. And to further that point and take it another step, vote with your dollar. If you're not buying Cardinals jerseys, if you're not buying games, if you're not buying merch, Bidwell's going to feel the pinch, and he can only sell so many tickets to the opposing team's fans to where he's not going to get his money back, or he's not going to get as much money as he wants to get. And the best way to get to the maximum revenue, Michael Bidwell, is to put a good product on the field. God damn, it's like not rocket science. I'm starting to get fired up. Niko's got me going. Mike, what do you got?
And there's also only so many casitas that you can sell too, you know, unless he wants to bash down the other end zone and build
Just
some more.
Clear out the entire lower bowl and make it like 35 casitas, all $30,000 a game. And I'm sure that'll be great.
Gentlemen, I mean, the one thing I'm putting a bookend on last year, because it truly is like you can't move forward, especially after you fire a coach, until you see who all the leaders are going to be going into the next year, right? So I think the combine is really going to be the 2026 Arizona Cardinals, where we can sit down, relax, and get a more of a breath of fresh air and hope moving forward. Even though, is there truly that much? Time will tell, man. They have so many moves to make. But with that being said, I'm excited. I'm a little disappointed I won't be here next week, but I will be at the Suns game. That's why I will not be able to go to the MLB spring training stream next Tuesday. So I know the boys will hold it down. We're going to be getting out to a bunch of games during spring training this year as well. Let's make a pact, guys. I have still yet to go to Sloan Park. I need to go to Sloan Park this year. So we'll have to get that one squared away. Suns are rolling. Things are going well out here in the Valley, as much as sometimes our teams suck. And then the last one I will say, this is more of a human element story. Shout out to Anthony Kim. I don't know if you guys saw him with the big live win this past weekend at their like major event. You know, he struggled with substance abuse, depression for about a decade, wasn't golfing, and he came back, and it was a true comeback story. And to see him embrace his daughter and his wife, that's the element of sports that we always need, especially when our team sucks. So appreciate you guys as always, man. Always a pleasure, never a chore. I'm stealing it from you tonight, Chris, but appreciate you, man.
Well, and I stole that from our ASU insider, Stephen Miller. So, I mean, all is fair at the end of the day. But no, I do always appreciate it, guys. This was a lot of fun. You know, 90 minutes flies, and especially when we're talking sports and I'm talking with my buddies. So I appreciate you guys. I also appreciate anybody that is still with us live or has made it this far in the playback. You are a real one, and we love you. So please, while you're here, hit that share button and send it to everybody in your contacts book. Take the link and put it in your Christmas cards this December. And that would be the biggest gift you could give us, is just sharing this stream. Of course, you can also like and subscribe on this video and to our channel here on YouTube. Follow us at AZ_VSP on Instagram, X, TikTok, pretty much anywhere. You can find all of our links in our link tree in the description below. You can also check out our individual creator links so you can see what's going on with Mr. Benjamin, Neeks, and myself. But guys, like I said, always a pleasure. We're going to be back at it next week with that spring training schedule, and every Tuesday at 7 p.m. for a live stream. And we even got the recording of the Heat Check podcast coming up this weekend. So be on the lookout for that next week. And that'll be debuting right here on our YouTube channel. But gentlemen, for Mr. Benjamin, Neeks, I'm Chris Patrick. We'll see you next time. Peace.
last time. This is Al McCoy saying thanks for being there. Thanks for being with us tonight. And from the Footprint Center here in downtown Phoenix, we'll just say so long for now.